reason for the season, and so we've been reading along with the Gospel of Luke. So join us today as we pick up in Luke 20. A quick recap from Luke chapter 19. Jesus had ate at Zacchaeus' house, and the people believed him to be a sinner. He was a sinner. He was a chief tax collector, and but Jesus told him, that the Son of Man come to seek and to save that which was lost, and that's the real meaning behind his parable, is that or of him eating with him, was that he comes to save the lost, right? And that's what he comes to save us all in our times of need. But he spoke on the parable of the minas, and that which is everyone who has will be given, and from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. And then his triumphal entry, which is foretold in the Old Testament of them praising him. Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord, peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And so he weeps over Jerusalem, and he also goes and cleanses the temple, and for the house of prayer, and he calls it a den of thieves, also representing some of the Old Testament as well. And so today we're going to pick up in Luke chapter 20. So join us and follow along. Now it happened on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, that the chief priests and the scribes, together with the elders, confronted him and spoke to him, saying, "Tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Or who is he who gave you this authority?" But he answered and said to them, "I also will ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or from men?" And they reasoned among themselves, saying, "If we say from heaven, he will say, 'Why then did you not believe him?' But if we say from men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that John was a prophet." So they answered that they did not know where it was from. And Jesus said to them, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things." Then he began to tell the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to the vine dressers, and went into a far country for a long time. Now at a vintage time, he sent a servant to the vine dressers that they might give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vine dressers beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, treated him shamefully, and sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, "What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him." But when the vine dressers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours." So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those vine dressers and give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, "Certainly not." Then he looked at them and said, "What then is it that is written? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but on whomever it falls, it will grind him to powder." And the chief priests and the scribes that very hour sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the people, for they knew he had spoken this parable against them. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be righteous, that they might seize on his words in order to deliver him to the power and the authority of the governor. Then they asked him, saying, "Teacher, we know that you say and teach rightly, and you do not show personal favoritisms, but teach the way of God in truth. Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, "Why do you test me? Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription does it have?" They answered and said, "Caesar's." And he said to them, "Render therefore To Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. But they could not catch him in his words in the presence of the people, and they marveled at his answer and kept silent. Then some of the Sadducees, who deny that there is a resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies having a wife, and he dies without children, his brothers should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died without children, and the second took her as wife, and he died childless. Then the third took her, and in the like manner the 7 also, and they left no children and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For all 7 had her as a wife. And Jesus answered and said to them, The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are counted worthy to attain that age, and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage, nor can they die any more, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But even Moses showed in the burning bush passage that the dead are raised, when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. Then some of the scribes answered and said, Teacher, you have spoken well. But what after that they dared not question him any more. And he said to them, How can they say that the Christ is the son of David? Now David himself said in the book of Psalm, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. Therefore David calls him Lord. How is he then his son? Then in the hearing of all the people he said to his disciples, Beware of the scribes who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplaces, the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation. Amen. That's the end of chapter 20. So I want to encourage you again, I want to encourage you to meditate on today's word, and really see here what Jesus is speaking about. And the Pharisees questioned him on his authority, but we know whose authority he teaches under, and is the authority of God, God-given authority. But they couldn't answer him, and he wasn't going to answer. He knew they were trying to trap him, right? And that's really what they've been trying to do with these questions. And each time he gives them an answer that they can't question, and they cannot argue against. But not only because they're fearful of the people as well, right? Not only of themselves being rejected by the people, but being stoned by the people, because they see that he is that the people are following him and listening to him, and that he is teaching with authority, and they can't really go against that. And so I want to just encourage you to meditate on the word, and see what God, leave us a message, and comment and tell us, how did God speak to you today in today's chapter. And today's daily reminder, we want to fully rely on God each and every day. We want to submit ourselves to God, have faith and trust in Jesus and the promises and of all that he gives us in his word. We want to seek first God's kingdom and his righteousness. We want to be in the word daily, but we don't want to just know it. We want to live it, love it, and obey it. And we want to pray always and about everything. So I encourage y'all to come out Monday through Friday. We're here at God's Daily Dose at Acts Christian Church at 401 10th Avenue North. And we just welcome you. Hello, Pastor Billy and Chris. How are y'all doing today? We welcome y'all to come. We're here at noon every day at 401 10th Avenue North. And on Sunday, this Sunday for Christmas Eve, we're going to have an evening service is going to be at 4 o'clock Sunday. So we hope to see y'all there. And y'all have a blessed day. And I hope to see y'all tomorrow. We're going to pick up in Luke 21. So we'll see you then.